think, right? Let me put back to our presentation. Okay. This is what I did when I got it the last time when I did this, and we get a lot of feedback about people again. So more or less similar stuff that we're getting here. So when we talk about innovation, we think about something creative, something new, something novel. Using the available the existing technology to improve something, right? So, so this is pretty much now. Let's put up it into the form of the what we call as the terminology. Yeah, they're taking this from Wikipedia. I didn't wanted to go detail of it, but is they mentioned is innovation is in its modern meaning is a new idea, creative thoughts, new imagination in form of device or method. All right, so this is what it's described by, as Wikipedia, the term of innovation. Um, I would like to go a bit more detail on this and discuss with you on what is this definition is. So what we're going to do, are we going to, when we say innovate, are we going to reinvent the wheel? Maybe, maybe not. Why I say maybe, it's still possible, yeah, because now today the wheel you see, it's much different from the days that the wheel has come. So, and it's like from the airless, tubeless, and different materials and self-reinflating and so on. And so it's like has gone so much just a wheel that we talk about the technology that now tubeless and airless and some things like uh, the technology around it has evolved so much that it's and it's every day still changing, the quality of it, the things, and it adds value to the existing life that we have, and then to the machineries or the things that we use. Now, innovation in academia rather is something that we want to be referring to. One might be, I mean, in regard to this, we have a lot of questions to ask when it comes to academia. What is it for us in that we want to all? It comes to us like where do I start? Where do I start? And okay, what sometimes might be wondering, why do I even have to innovate as a postgraduate student or as a lecturer, as a researcher? I have a lot of things already to do. I've been given this particular task. I want to do it, just go on with it. Why do I need still to innovate? I just look for something whether it's there. Being a researcher, being an academics, we always have an idea, but how do we implement it? So we have a lot of other tasks, a lot of other things given to us, and how do I improve? I mean, when do I start on this? How much do I think I need to innovate? And how do I even innovate? And of course, who to work with is very, very important. Your team is one of the most important. You should have a supporting team. Is not necessarily they have it too technical, but the people who are the same thoughts and the people who can support and encourage you, that's a key in creating a good innovation. So many questions around innovation, and then we want to look into this and answer, see how to approach this and how to answer this. Okay, now this where to start is this kind of like in now it's kind of like become inevitable to us that we have to do innovation. All right, now when we say innovation, now if we look at our infrastructure in every faculty or any university, that you find some sort of innovation office. Now we have it under our research Deputy Dean of Research and Innovation, that we have the Office of Innovation, which I'm coordinating it. Where we have a team where we are dedicated to everything about innovation. You just name it, whatever you need of innovation, we have put up there. So we are there to help you with to realize your brilliant ideas into reality. And then we can even help you on how to protect your ideas, how to make competencies, efficiency, finance, and some other related matters. So please do approach us, do this, reach out to us. We can help you in order to come up with realization of your innovation. We have a kind of a fund for the lecturers at the moment that can help them to create their prototype and to come out with their first step of the innovation, or rather the prototype in realizing it. So we have a structure place in and that we can now what we want to know is the things that we want to look into is the sorry, excuse me, I have a phone call is coming in. Okay, so now the important question here, why innovate? The why innovate is any dedicated person, any of us, we always be on kind of a lookout on how to improve in our field. In university, we come many times that we come across this term of innovation. So with the continuous changes in the now with the educational demographics and unexpected global challenges, especially now that this is a challenging time we all face since last year, we have gone through a lot of things to adjust and adapt to these changes that we have had. From the lecturer's perspective, we had to do the teaching online, so we had to a lot of us had to learn new methods of how to use the technology on without seeing our students, like something like we done webinars, online webinars, live webinars has become a norm now. This is something that we do. So we innovate actually as we go on. We're innovating at every aspect of the life. So innovation helps you to stay relevant, create ideas that lead to success. I think most of you from the IMB are familiar with this. You must have seen it at the IMB. Yeah, I think Dr. Hugh has put up this somewhere. Is it? This is the same one, I think. Yes, Dr. Hugh. I like this because it helps, it promotes, and again, it's an innovative idea of the Dr. Hugh to, create the environment, promoting environment for the all of us. When we get there, we see, kind of the stimulating is kind of like, rejuvenating environment. This is a lovely step by Dr. Hugh, and I love this slide. So now we reach that to the stage. Okay, we have an idea. Okay, what is my idea useful? And of course, we don't come with one idea. We have plenty of ideas. We have many ideas in our mind, as I'm sure, because if we don't have those kind of things, we wouldn't be in this area. We won't be in this field. We are researchers. We are academicians. We always think. We are thinkers. Yeah. So we have an idea. So how do I implement this idea? How is it? Do I go ahead with it? So these are some areas that I want you to look at when we want to implement this as innovation. Looking at the problem or the goals. I don't like to call it as a problem. I really look at it as opportunities rather. Yeah, looking at the gap. That's the what are the gaps that you want to fill, and the solution that you're providing. What is the outcome going to be, and how you're going to be implementing this? So that implementation part and things and all, we can help you, as I mentioned. So like we need to look at this continuously. So like, as I said, we went into the unprecedented times. Suddenly all of us have to be doing work from home, and we didn't have the infrastructure in the house that we want to actually do all this communications, or even for research and things, or even for teaching. So a lot of us had to do a little bit of adjustment, but quite a number of us had to do innovative ways to come up with delivering the ideas and things like that. But that is kind of like we do something for ourselves, yeah, to make things easier for ourselves and to come up with the idea and to make things easier. But how about the larger society or larger group, or in the faculty or your friends or in the research team? How about that? How you want to address that? Because if you face that problem or you've come up with that challenge, the rest also will be having that. So the other aspect is to look at the gap that is there. So how am I going to fill up this gap? What are missing? Yeah. So the thing is, like, a lot of companies and a lot of tools came up, and they flourish. As you look at the 2020s, the ITs and a lot of companies, actually, their income had tripled compared to the years before than COVID. And like most of us, like, many of the people were struggling, but while major companies were making billions by just, because they had these products that they had anticipated that one day can be useful. Okay, so these are the things that we need to look in a research aspect as well, in a research area, in the research kind of the matter as well, how we gonna be implementing this, how it's gonna come up with. I just give you a quote. I like this. It's Steve Jobs' missions. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. It'll come to you. Yep. Don't worry. A lot of great ideas have come at the very different stages, very different time. But you need to keep on seeking. You need to keep on looking. The when and why is another, and how much is another important aspect. It's all about timing and how much that you want to go with that particular innovation. Timing, if you are too slow, your innovation might not be relevant. You have come up with something, some good ideas, and you have come up with something, but this is not applicable anymore. We don't, if come up with some idea, we want to do it on the campus, we want to make the students do this, but students are not there on campus, so it's not going to be useful. We're not going to be able to do this anymore. So it would have been good about a couple of years ago, but now it's not. So the other way also applicable, if we are too fast for something, we have come up with an idea, but then we are too ahead for that, the time of it, yeah, sometimes. But that is a good thing, actually. The technology is not ready for it, or like now that we are coming up with ideas that, way advanced over the timing. We come across sometimes that innovations that in 1920s or 30s or 50s, where they had the idea but they didn't have the tools, or they didn't have the population to accept it at that moment. So this is another thing that we need to look into about innovation. You need to look at the readiness of the market and the readiness of the uh, the the society for that kind of the thing that you're coming with. So that other thing would be how much is too much. Now, how to work and who to work with. This is a very important slide. I'm going to just give you spend a little time on this and talk about it. Um, Here, when we have an idea, it's always good to create a good team, discuss it with your teammates, and present it to your teammates. If you have a teammate, or you don't, if you can, for that purpose, even you can come to us. As I mentioned, we have a group of people who are well experienced in, creating and developing ideas or enriching ideas in the faculty for our few years now, that we can understand, or we can get a good idea when we see one. So it's good always to present your idea to your team, colleagues, friends, or even the end user. Do you think that the thing that you're making would be for school children? Just approach them. This is what I did. And when I was creating, not rather creating, it never came to me that I have to create this. No, it was a time when we were doing a lot of work. We were creating a lot, dealing with a lot of samples, but the students that were handling the samples were changing. So we wanted a stable protocol that the students can, the different people can handle it. So when we put this our primers and things are not together, and then we send it to a company, we found that they can, use it in such a way. We can come up with such a way that we can um, keep it at the temperature stabilities, there, that then you don't have to worry about a lot of things, and even the less experienced people can use it without, having to go through training. So that's end up to become a product by itself by end of the day. So you have to look around your resources. We that time I talked to our business unit in Shah Alam. That time we called Rebu, now it's called Bitcom. They supported very much, and then they were strongly supporting the idea. And then there was a small fund at that time. I got the fund, and then started developing that. So those things, you need to look at it as at every step that you go, and evaluate it as you're going on. So budget, finance, how much you can do, you all, and then it's good to come up with a small scale of the thing. A workable prototype usually will be nice, and then you can present it to like I said, the faculty level or university level, or even you can look at industry where they can provide any of the, sometimes they'll be very much interested in your idea, and then they can take it up. But what I encourage is just to get it done. You work on it. So the other thing is your team. Your team is very important. You need to have a very good supportive mind, like-minded teams. You need to find a group of people who work and appreciate and have that kind of innovative idea in everything that you do. Not everything as innovative exactly has to be in the sense of like product, but it's good to look at it. Okay, if it's benefited me, how I can use it to make it benefit others, or how we can create something that we can make it easier for others, or we can make some revenue for our team or something like that. And don't forget to collaborate. You'll be surprised that a lot of people who we love to come, because we don't have this specific expertise. Yeah, we are good in what we do, but for example, I had to team up with a kind of a group of people who do 3D designing and 3D printing. Fantastic people. We can sit. They give you fantastic ideas, and then sometimes we can outsource it. But most of it is best always to sit and help and work with the people who, have the same like-minded development. In a faculty or in the university, or your friends or outside anywhere. So collaborate with others. Your ideas will be, realized in no time. Lastly, I wanted to just focus on protecting your idea. Protect your idea all the time. There are a lot of people outside waiting for your ideas to be taken from you. Trust me, sometimes your idea, you as much as you think maybe that is not a great one, but trust me, you have a fantastic things in your mind that can be the next big thing. If you don't use it, if you don't realize it, you don't make it, to the next step of it, you would never know that your idea was the next best thing, and you might depriving a lot of people because you never tried it out. Present your innovation, of course, after protecting it. Now that copyright, patenting, we can help you with that at the faculty level. We can help you at the university level. It can help you even to do it on individual level, to how to approach it. There's so many levels. There's so many talks in in university itself. A few days back there was a talk on patent, and you can directly reach to Bitcom, or you can come to us. We can help you and innovation committee in the faculty, or can directly reach out to me. I can link you with the right people on how to protect your idea, at what level you can protect your idea. Yeah, so because it is very important, because you want to present your ideas, your innovation. This is something that's very important. You don't have to wait your product to be 100% and then present it, because sometimes you need to test the waters first. Maybe it sounds very good to you, but it's, as I say, maybe it's out of its time, or maybe it's not applicable. You need to test it out. You need a bigger crowd. So that's what much better than competing or presenting it at the scientific societies or innovation competitions or even exhibitions. Reach out to the communities, and whatever you have presented to them, or you make them to test it out, or make it use it, and then maybe you can even get the source of the funding from there to create it in the next scale or next level. Industry collaboration is a very important. It's must. If you can get into industry collaboration, will be fantastic for your product. Just knock on their doors and just write to them. You wouldn't know who would be interested. Trust me, the companies are many of the giant companies that are interested. Maybe not in all the ideas that you have. Maybe that they're just one of your idea. And think about commercialization. Once you have done something, you've reached to some level. There are so many levels of commercialization that we can think of. It can, it can be one-off sell, it can be licensing, can be partners, it can be share, it can be in form of expertise and things and all. There's so many levels that we can do, and there's a big, very structured way to do it in Bitkom, and then they can help you to do that. This will help you not only to be recognized, your you know your expertise, and that, but also you can, it gives a very good recognition to the institution that you're working for. All right. So with that, I would like to leave you with innovation process is not easy and can be very daunting. However, once achieved, the rewards can be significant. So please do innovate, go for it, and don't lose hope. So this is the last word I want to leave you with. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. With that, thank you very much. When one last thing, and before I finish, I would like to, now since we are on this note, we are hosting an innovation competition that is coming up. 1st of July is the deadline, and it's again online innovation competition. We encourage innovation in our faculty a lot. Through it's been a few years now that we have had this platform every year, and we encourage everybody, especially the postgraduate students, to take part. Present your work in such a way that it's have an end, kind of like a product manner or solution. It doesn't matter, always have to be product. Yeah, it can be a solution, can be a concept, can be a service, any of those. Even if a business plan or business idea, also it is welcome. We encourage postgraduate students to take part in these competitions, and as you can see, the fees are very minimal, and everybody can take part in this. So we'll be happy to see you in these competitions. For any further queries, you can write into us, and then we'll be, or you can discuss with your supervisors to regarding this. And we welcome all the faculty members to this. Please do so. We disseminate this to everyone, that every of your colleagues from other faculties and universities to join this event. All right. So with this, I think thank you all for listening, and I think I end the presentation here.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So now we open for any question from the floor. Is there any question?
Any questions? Okay, I think all the innovative minds are working.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you very much, Dr. Jamal, for your inspiring talk just now. Maybe I can be the first to ask question.
Sure.
Right. So regarding innovation, sometimes when we innovate, we are stuck in between innovation and commercialization.
Yes.
So I find it is another level of difficulty.
Exactly.
How to commercialize our innovation products. So based on your experience, how do we go about it? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Hio. It's a fantastic question, and something that we are working to very hard at the innovation committee to answer this, because this is actually the question on almost everyone in our faculty's mind. And because they say, okay, we have come up with something, now next what? But that's the thing. That's the part when we need to reach out, yeah, to the community, as I mentioned, to reach out um, to the industry. Sometimes it's difficult for us to say, okay, which industry can I reach out to? I don't know where to go. Sometimes, as an academician or researcher, sometimes we're laid back to do this kind of a things. So that's why the idea of innovations competitions comes in. You present at the different levels. They come to you sometimes, yeah. So they will reach out, and they will give you, okay, I like this, what you have done this here, and then they will approach. That has happened a lot of the times. That's why you need to choose different platforms. You want to test your product. Okay, Faculty of Medicine putting something. Let me test out my product and see what is it about. Okay, I know my product is all right now. Let me go to the next level. So this is one way of going with it. And if you're so confident and you think it is really good and you're getting something with it, as I said, we have this innovation department, like in our faculty, as well as in Bitcom, that we can link you, try to find the what you call it as the relevant industry. So we need. That's why we say most of the time researchers have that question, but they do not take the next step. Yeah, that's including myself. Yeah, I went to some few, I got discouraged and I stopped. And sometimes when we see that the industry's requirement is much different from what we have done, but they still are interested in what you have done. They say if you can come up with this, then we are interested. So this is, we shouldn't should be discouraged. That is, these are encouraging points that they are interested in some aspect of our work. So it's good to that I mentioned. You beneath. If we want to really look at the commercialization aspect of it, we really need to look at those few points that I mentioned. Look at the what are the challenges, what are the gaps available, things, and what solution you're offering. So when you do that, it's like I said, now a lot of companies now, these online webinars, things that on the online lectures and the tools, for the lights and things like that, they made billions now. The shares have gone so high, and if you look at it, the gaming industry and things like, because they realize now this is a time for them to push all these things. There's a need. There's people can't move. So we need to look at that as well. But sometimes we have to be ready for those kind of things. We prepare, we keep. Then when the time arrives, then we reach out. Doesn't mean that we are okay. We don't have any solution for now. My what I've created, oh, it's not good for this time, so I just discarded. No, we wouldn't know when, because as it now, none of us expected this kind of time that we are facing now. If this was not any other ordinary time, we would be in IMB, we're standing there and talking, everybody sitting there, yeah, and after that we have some nice yummy makans there. Yeah, so but this not happening anymore. Now we have to sit, look at each other on this kind of platforms. So we need to be prepared. But then there are infrastructure, especially in UITM as well as Faculty of Medicine. It's not easy, as I mentioned, but it is doable. We have quite number of the products actually being marketed, and because they were consistent, they're pushing. The Faculty of Dentistry have few number of. Faculty of Medicine, I think there was one went to some extent, and they did. The other thing is we need to look at what challenges the industry that we are in and they are facing. We can do that. So those are the common thing. And I'm sure that Dr. Hio has a fantastic, brilliant, innovative ideas as well. I have know the way you work and things like that. So we need to keep on doing this, to in order to get all this out somewhere, and it will work out soon.
Thank you, Dr. Jamal.
Anyone else? Okay, I think there was something in the.
Other question in the chat box, Doctor.
Oh, okay.
From Daniel, Mr. Daniel. It said,
Okay.
I know how can we find out the idea we have had not been invented before.
Oh, okay. Now the thing is about invention and invention. Innovation and invention are two different things. When we talk about invention, if it's come to your mind and you've haven't come across it, it's definitely not there. And if it is at least not around you, then it is not there. A simple Google search, if you don't want to go to the patent search and things like that, a simple Google search nowadays will help a lot. It goes a long way. Yeah, that's what we do actually. Yeah, I will search it first. If it's any why in first place we came across this to do these things, yeah, because there was a problem with it, or if the existing one is already there, is not answering, is not filling that gap, is not a solution for that, existing problem or challenge. So maybe you can give it your side of it. Maybe you give it your touch, and by innovating, that's why I said there is a wheel already. There's a. Are you going to reinvent it? No, it's already there. So I'm going to make it again? No, but I'm going to make it. There are wheels without air now. You don't need to fill up air anymore. Yeah, there are materials that are not terrible. So you can think along that side that way. So there's so many of those kind, but some of them are heavier, some of them are not recyclable, some of them are poisonous. That's so along those things. So what added value you bringing to that solution? So I'm sure something that comes to your mind is a brilliant one. Work on it and try to see how you can answer that problem differently from what is existing. You're most welcome. Thank you for the question. Okay. Any other questions? I know it's a bit of the innovation thing. Like we have been trying this over years and years in our faculty. Some of us might not see it exactly as like, oh, the best great thing to do. Just some we really do it. They just do it for the competition's sake. Okay, I want to enter or I want to get a copyright, and then so that's really doesn't serve that purpose. As I said, if you really want to be innovative, you just said your regular research work that you're doing. Like I said, my first patent came from the issues that I had, the challenges that I was facing. Needed to screen hundreds of the samples, and I had to change the student to do that work. So I needed to have a standardized parameter to test this. If anybody's doing that, should be able to just give me the same result. So that's how it came up with it. And from that, I have got many, I have got finance for it. I have got, awards for it, because I even managed to get a patent for it. So it's always, and it's up to you. And since then, we have done few more, Dr. Hugh is aware with those things. So for that, since I realized the challenge that I have some ideas, but I can't move on because I don't have any fund. So we came up with this small seeding fund, which lecturers can apply, and we help them to come up with a concept. Yeah, it's not a big amount. So if you see it is useful, then we can help you to get that fund, because the fund is very limited, and then you can come up with your prototype, and then from there go for the bigger grants. Okay. Any?
I think there is no more question for Doctor.
All right.
Okay, so I end today's basic lecture series with thank you to everyone, and especially Associate Prof. Dr. Jamal for his time and efforts he took to share knowledge. So we hope you can join us again. Okay, once again, on behalf of the IMMB, on behalf of the IMMB, thank you. Okay, so goodbye everyone.